Hello, we are back with another review of ReZero Arc 7, Chapter 87, Decisive Battle at the Bastion. So I'm going to review this. Hopefully it's good. You can read these yourself at witchculttranslations.com. It starts off with Misha Gold pretending to be Vincent on the throne talking to Burstets, the minister, about the capital is surrounded by the rebel forces and they are outnumbered, but that doesn't mean anything if they're not a cohesive unit to attack them. And then they start talking about the past and how Vincent essentially took the throne. We find out that Ubilk, the Stargazer, is in the room, and he calls Misha Gold a fake emperor, and they get annoyed at him and say that his head might roll. And he makes a comment where, like, he doesn't fear Misha Gold, he fears Burstets, and Burstets says something about, like, ask the stars if you should fear me or something like that. And he says essentially along the lines that he doesn't see insignificant things through the stars. And so they ask if there's a significant person on the rebel side that would be seen by the stars, and he says no. So the prime minister leaves, and Ubilk, the Stargazer, asks Vincent, or fake Emperor Misha Gold, if the prime minister knows. And Vincent doesn't say anything, so Ubilk is like, I thought so. And then they talk about how there can't be a new prophecy or commandment until the last one was fulfilled, which is that a black-haired, black-eyed individual would destroy the country, I think is how that works. Ubilk says that Vincent has the country in the palms of his hands, and Misha Gold, is uneasy about that. And then it cuts to somewhere else, and it says that his uneasiness would be proven to be correct or whatever. And the scene it goes to is Garfield and Kaphma fighting. Kaphma and Garfield are fighting, and we find out more about Garfield's divine protection of earth spirits, and that it is up to the understanding of the individual that the divine protection is that can change its abilities. Like, for Garfield, as long as he's touching solid ground, then his protection is activated. It doesn't exactly have to be earth, it seems, just as long as he's not in the air, which is kind of cool. So Kaphma makes a mistake and lets Garfield get into close combat with him, and Garfield is destroying Kaphma pretty much. And so Kaphma has to use some sort of special attack, and Garfield narrowly misses it and survives. And this is giving them both some breathing room. So he's like, I didn't know there was someone like you in the Empire, you know? And Garfield, not being the smartest person there is, says it would be more surprising if you knew who I was, alluding to that he's not from the Empire. And Kaphma is like, oh, what does that mean, you know? So Kaphma's like, I regret that we can't have a conversation. I would have liked to have spoken with you more or something like that. And we find out that Garfield has been infected with some sort of like parasite. While Garfield is struggling with the parasite, Kaphma kicks him off the wall and presumes that he's dead from, you know, having a parasite in him that normally you wouldn't survive, but Garfield falls onto the ground. He can't heal himself from magic because of the parasite. So he decides to eat a magic stone out of a cannon, one of their magic cannons that's near the wall. And the burst of mana like incinerates the insect and covers him in fire or something to that effect while he's going through his transformation into like a tiger. So now we're on to round 2 of Kaphma versus Garfield. That's where this chapter ends. It was pretty short compared to the last chapter. We learned a bit more about Garfield's divine protection, which I really liked, even though he was introduced in Arc 4 and fought in Arc 5. We didn't get much information about his abilities in Arc 5. He just pretty much fought, and we already knew stuff from Arc 4, and there's nothing added to it, I don't think. Anyway, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.